So, this was the week that we shook things up in WWE. We shook it up, people. It's a brand new era. It's a brand new day. Everything's going to start to feel fresh on Monday Night Raw. We have a sense of rejuvenation on Monday Night Raw. We're going to see new faces and new matchups. And it's going to be right in 2019. How many of you feel like the biggest fucking idiots in the YWC? How does it feel to be trolled? How does it feel to be mocked? How does it feel to have your hopes just reaching an all-time high? And then they're crushed. Because there's nothing there. There was never anything there, and there will never be anything there. How does it feel to be wrong? Oh, man, I love being right. I love being right. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to show you Exhibit A. Exhibit A. Vince McMahon with the Raw is War logo on the microphone, so you know how far this goes back. Shout out to Sal Rex for always having some goodies in my DM. I laughed. I was laughing well before Monday Night Raw, and I'm laughing even harder now. Vince McMahon with the Raw is War logo on his microphone. Stephanie McMahon, a young, vibrant Stephanie McMahon, youthful Stephanie McMahon, with the Women's Championship, the Attitude Era Women's Championship, around her right shoulder. Triple H, the World Heavyweight Champion, and Shane McMahon with his right arm over Triple H's left shoulder. This was the scene back in the day. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you will see this back then, and nothing has changed between then and now. This picture here is of Monday Night Raw, this past Monday. Stephanie McMahon, Shane McMahon, Triple H, and Vincent Kennedy McMahon standing in the ring during Monday Night Raw, with Vince McMahon saying out loud to the general public the reason why Monday Night Raw has been so successful is because it's changed with the times. It's adapted to the times. Where do you see WWE changing with the times in that photo compared to what happened in the Attitude Era? Am I losing my fucking mind? Am I going out of my mind? Monday Night Raw was filled with nothing but empty promises by Vince McMahon. If you believe for 1 second that the change on Monday Night Raw is really going to happen, I swear on my grandfather's tomb, you are the dumbest fuck that I think I have ever seen. I hope that no change comes, because I hope that the show continues to fail week in and week out. I'm still going to be here. There'll still be a WWE product. WWE's not going out of business for all the fucking, all the naysayers, right? Oh, what is JD going to do without the WWE product? He's wishing for Raw to fail. No, I just like seeing other people spew stupidity at me, and then I'm the one standing up here, and then you're down here, and I'm telling you how wrong you are, and I end up being proven right. There was nothing on Raw that enticed change. Nothing. New faces? The fuck is a new face gonna do for me? We've seen a plethora of new faces come in and out of Monday Night Raw. Where are they? What have they done? Same thing with SmackDown Live. Where are they? What have they done? New matchups? The fuck is a new matchup gonna do for me? What am I gonna see? Lars Sullivan versus Seth Rollins? Wow, I can't wait for that! Or Lars Sullivan versus some fucking enhancement talent? Heavy machinery walking into a dead tag team division? Yeah, I can't wait for Vince McMahon to take a look at Otis. What is he gonna do? Probably end up breaking them up and then firing Tucker Knight. Remember the Ascension? Remember Sanity? The Club? The Colognes? Breezango? Yeah, you get the point. You get the point. Lacey Evans? WWE has nothing going on outside Ronda Rousey, Charlotte, and Becky Lynch. Ronda Rousey is just biding her time on Monday Night Raw. Where's Lacey Evans gonna fit in? And then when we get done with Ronda Rousey, Charlotte, and Becky Lynch, the next chapter of the Horsewomen is going to be written. So where's Lacey Evans gonna fit in? She better find herself a tag team partner. That's all I know. Because there'll be no titles for Lacey Evans to compete for. EC3? I don't know what the fuck you're going to do with EC3. EC3 didn't wow anybody in NXT. I'm not really passing on him completely, but EC3 is not someone that I'm going to go out of my way to watch Raw or SmackDown for. New faces mean nothing. New faces mean that WWE is making the same mistake over and over and over again. Yeah, we're going to see new faces, and then WWE is going to add more new faces on top of that, and then the rosters are going to be completely watered down. Too much talent for them to do anything with. You know, I mentioned this for 3 weeks now. I got people calling me out, making fun of me for the way I think. I got people making fun of the titles of my videos, WWE mocking people. Yes, that's exactly what it is. You were taken for a fool. You were taken for a fool on Monday night. If you think that change is coming. There's no change coming. Vince McMahon came to television because they were so desperate to stop the bleeding. That's exactly what they did. They put a Band-Aid over a shotgun blast, is what I said word for word on Monday night. What happened? Vince McMahon came, they had a big announcement. Who's not going to be interested in a big announcement by Vince McMahon? He shows up, the ratings go up 10%, and then you're going to get what you get next week on Monday Night Raw. I don't give a fuck if it's a Christmas Eve episode or not. If you tell me that change is coming, and then you follow it up, no matter what holiday it is, with the shit we're going to see next week, you're a fucking fool for believing anything out of these people's mouths. I want to believe Triple H. I want to believe everything the man says because he's done such a phenomenal job with NXT. And for the people who tell me that the NXT product would fail or the NXT mentality would fail on the main roster, people don't want to see core wrestling on the main roster. Are you fucking ridiculous? How stupid could you fucking be? I mean, look at what New Japan is doing in the United States. Every time they had a show on the West Coast sold out, yeah, they're running 5, 6, 7,000 seat venues, but that's core wrestling, isn't it? What's the premise of their product? Core wrestling, the fundamental of wrestling, is what New Japan is. That's what people want. All in, sold out. They filled 12,000 people in that arena, and that was the biggest weekend for indie wrestling of all time. People don't want to see core wrestling? Then tell me why that was sold out almost instantaneously. Why did New Japan and Ring of Honor sell out Madison Square Garden in 13 fucking minutes? What, you think they're going there to see a fucking circus? You think they're going over there to see Bozo the fucking Clown? Come out and throw fucking pumpkin pies in someone's face? Like you see on Monday Night Raw? No, they came to watch wrestling. So for the people that tell me, oh, why are you talking about NXT and having that mentality kind of show itself on the main roster? Because that's the direction that they need to go in. They've made their money. Now give us what we want. Triple H knows what we want. Stephanie might know what we want based on her relationship with Triple H. Shane might know what we want. But the answer to our problems is not Vince McMahon coming out saying that there's going to be change. Because as soon as that segment was over and he went right back into the locker room and gorilla position, what was the first thing that we seen? If you want to change, I should have seen something fresh. I should have seen something new and exciting. Someone new and exciting. I see Baron Corbin and fucking Kurt Angle in a repeat of what we seen exactly, move for move, segment for segment at TLC. The only difference is Braun Strowman wasn't there. Yeah, real change. Real change. We waited for this change all night, only to get Natalya Neidhart, who is as dull as fucking paint drying, in the main event, winning a match with Ronda Rousey. Whoop-de-fucking-do. Anybody not named Becky or Charlotte is a complete waste of time in this Ronda Rousey story. Thank you for coming, Natalya Neidhart. Go cry in the corner about your father and cry over the broken sunglasses that he gave you. Don't give a shit. Don't give a shit. And from what I was told, the match was boring and dull. No question, it was boring and dull. Look who's participating. Oh, but you wanted fresh and new. That's fresh and new. I didn't ask for Natalya. Natalya ain't new and fresh. She's been there for 12 years. And nice try on reinventing the gauntlet match or trying to do the same thing with Bayley and the rest of the women that Seth Rollins did. Complete failure. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm trying to tell you that change is only being talked about. Change is only being talked about. Now, if someone is to change, right? Why are you going to say you're going to change? Why don't you just do it? Why don't you just do it? The simple fact that WWE is addressing what is exactly wrong with this show, at least some of what's wrong with this show. They're not addressing what is completely wrong with this show. If I am in charge, Michael Cole's gone, Renee Young's gone, a new commentary team is there, new graphics, new music, new logo, new stage, new everything. New everything. You talk about antiquated, Raw is antiquated. Instead of talking about change, why don't you just fucking do it? Do it. We are well past talking about it. The more that they talk about it and then the more that they do nothing, they're mocking you. They're addressing what's wrong with the show and nothing is being done about it. They're treating it legitimately as a joke. Because they're taking what's wrong with the show and they're using it for storyline reasons. And then no change will ever come from that. The only change that's come is Vince McMahon and the McMahon family are going to now be in charge of the show. We got rid of one GM, and now we have 4 GMs on Monday Night Raw. 1 per week. 1 week it'll be Vince, 1 week it'll be Triple H, 1 week it'll be Stephanie, the other week it'll be Shane McMahon. Wow! Wow. In a day and age where we need to start moving away from general managers. The general manager is going to be the end-all be-all on this show. They're always going to be above the actual performers, just based on who they are. The McMahon family. The McMahon family. We're taking the show back from middle management. When was it ever in the hands of middle management? Never. Never. You want me to sit at home and believe? And I think everybody nowadays is smart enough to understand what's going on here. You want me to sit at home and believe that the McMahons were never in charge of Monday Night Raw? That they're never in charge of what shows up on that show? I don't understand the logic. And people at home legitimately believe these suit and ties, this worthless gibberish coming out of their mouths, these empty promises and lies they believe. I've actually had people come and tell me Raw was better. Raw was better. Where the fuck was it better? Did you mistakenly turn on the WWE Network and put on something from 1999? Because I know what I watched. Bunch of bullshit is what I watched. Show was complete garbage. I hope that it fucking fails in the worst way possible. Then what are they gonna do? The ratings are gonna sink down and down and down. Vince is gonna look at everybody, blame everybody else for his shortcomings. Then what is he gonna do? We gave everybody what we wanted. Yeah, I really asked for Lacey Evans on the main roster. The fuck did you give me? What, are you gonna give me Lacey Evans versus fucking Alicia Fox on Monday Night Raw? Man, I can't wait. Then he's gonna look at everybody. Why are we failing? Why aren't the ratings going up? Then he's gonna call up more names. Hey, let's bring up more names. Let's bring up that Black character, Aleister Black. Let's bring up Velveteen Dream, right? Then he's gonna go for the home run, and it's gonna be too little, too late. Too little, too late. The only reason why the ratings are gonna go up in January is because the Royal Rumble, that little old pay-per-view we got coming up called the Royal Rumble. I know change is not going to happen immediately, but when you say, starting tonight, Miss McMahon, that change is coming, you better damn give me change. Nothing happened. Nothing happened as far as change goes. I am giving this company till the end of the year. Actually, New Year's. When is Monday Night Raw? New Year's Eve? And then SmackDown Live is on New Year's Day. If they have not completely changed by that second week, Raw and SmackDown in January, done. Completely done. I am not hanging on to the hope that this company's going to change. You got till the second week of January to facilitate change. Because I know these shows now have already been taped, and the New Year's shows are going to be taped. It's going to be nothing but fucking garbage. They may be some of the worst rated shows in the history of Monday Night Raw. They actually may break their old record from a couple of weeks ago. I'm giving you to the second week of January. If you do not facilitate change, then there is no change ever coming to Monday Night Raw. I want to go over this little fucking fun fact here. This little news and note here that I got. Vince McMahon reportedly worked everybody with the new era announcement. Vince McMahon wanted to shake things up, so he opened up Monday Night Raw this week with an announcement that WWE is changing. General managers are now no more, which sucks for Paige, and there was an outraged fan base on social media because Paige was undeservedly and wrongfully terminated from her position on SmackDown Live. But now the McMahons are running the show because they don't want any more middle management. So they went ahead and jumped the gun on announcing some NXT superstars that will soon land on the main roster. Brad Shepard of the Oh You Didn't Know podcast said that this announcement from Vince made some in the WWE universe feel confident that a new era is really coming. Apparently the backstage opinion, and this is from someone who has legitimate sources in the WWE, the backstage opinion is that this was just another work from Vince McMahon. He says, and I quote, "So I was talking about Vince's appearance on TV with a well-placed source in the company, and I asked them what their take was on the irony of fans giving Vince a huge babyface reaction upon his return to TV, while also complaining about the creative direction of the company, which he, of course, is ultimately responsible for." Their response? Yep, Vince knows how to work everybody. End quote. Now, Vince McMahon's ability to put a spin on things is unparalleled. Nobody could really do it better, especially at this stage of the game. That old fuck knows how to still play with people's emotions. Nobody can hype an announcement like Vince and then drive it home by delivering on a minuscule level. That's what he does. He hypes people up, he delivers, and materialized from that is nothing. WWE really needs to start turning things around in 2019. I read that there is a huge storyline brewing in 2019, and it will probably revolve around the fucking McMahons for all we know. They have a lot of work to do to win everybody over. We all know this. Because all those fans that have given up completely, they don't know if you are going to put on a good show or not. What happens if you put on a good show and people miss out? You drove those fans away already. You're going to need to start delivering good show after good show after good show after good show. You need to go on such a winning streak right now, an unparalleled winning streak, to even gain some sort of interest from those people that you have already lost. It was one big work. So, for everybody that praised Monday Night Raw, right? Everybody that praised Monday Night Raw, all the fucking puppets in the YWC, right? From all these other podcasters and these content creators, big and small. You want to hype Monday Night Raw. You want to get excited about Monday Night Raw. I have been the leader of the anti-Raw movement for God knows how long. Now, you want to somehow have fucking hope that WWE is going to change? What fucking planet are you on and who drugged you? You guys need to be smarter than that. You fed right into Vince's bullshit. Sacramento and Fresno fed right into their bullshit, right? They showed one camera shot of some fucking idiot in the crowd. He was wearing orange or yellow or something, right? Getting all excited about the McMahon's announcement. That is a fucking clown. A clown. Hook, line, and sinker. Vince in the back of his mind laughing. You talk about master of puppets. Vince is the ultimate master of puppets and never to be replaced. Nobody will ever rival Vince McMahon as the master of puppets. Current people backstage in WWE. Oh, this gets better and better, folks. This gets better and better. Current people backstage in WWE, and I quote, wonder how anyone watches the current product at all. Now, Brad Shepard, in the same podcast, the Oh You Didn't Know podcast, said he was speaking to someone in the company who wonders how anyone can watch the current television product. In fact, NXT isn't even drawing that much internal interest, in spite of the fact that their show is arguably better than the main roster. He says, and I quote, when talking about the bad current TV product right now that WWE is putting on TV with a well-placed source in the company, they told me, honestly, they don't know how anyone follows the show anymore, and they heard NXT was hot nowadays, but they don't even bother paying attention to NXT. The only thing, end quote, by the way, the only thing that these people pay attention to is their bank accounts going up, 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 and who else they could sucker money from in 2018 going into 2019. They don't care. This company has become so disenfranchised, desensitized to wrestling in general, that the only thing they care about is making more and more and more and more and more money. Now, it's great to make money, but you're also running a wrestling company. You know? You're running a wrestling company. So what you need to do is get back on track and give me and the fans professional wrestling. When you do that, I don't realize how people are this stupid. When you do that, the money is still going to come. Because you're going to gain, hopefully, that fan back into the WWE that you've led astray and you've just completely withered down to nothing. I don't understand. What's so difficult? They're not paying attention to NXT. This is the future of the fucking business. The future of the company. Without NXT, there'd be nobody to carry the workload going on into the future. When your Rollins and your Reigns and your Cenas and your Styles and your Ortons aren't there. I don't understand this. This company is so fucking... They're so out of their mind lost. You got people backstage wondering how anyone comes to the shows and watches the shows at home. Yeah, you want to say, oh, it's a good show. When you got people in the company telling you blatantly, this show fucking sucks. I don't know how anyone right now is watching the current product. Yeah, new era, right? Yeah, some new era. Jimmy Jacobs. Again, this clown shows up on some fucking podcast. Shows up on the Wrestling Observer Live. Never mind just some podcast. Wrestling Observer Live. He's interviewed by Brian Alvarez. he says that, the fans are souring over the current product. And he actually explains how WWE's creative process wouldn't work without Vince in charge. Really? The creative direction would not work with Vince not in charge. What do you call NXT? You think Vince has a hand in what's going on with NXT? That's all Matt Bloom and William Regal and Triple H and Shawn Michaels and everybody else that Triple H has assembled with his team. So automatically, this guy is completely out of his mind, drunk with stupidity. The creative process, he says, wouldn't work without Vince in charge. He says, and I quote, the Vince factor is a huge part of the writing on Raw and SmackDown. Even if you took Vince out of the equation, it's extremely difficult to come up with new ideas, concepts, new matches for 3 hours each week. But yeah, it's difficult writing for Vince. The prevailing goal is, and I quote, is Vince going to like this? End quote. Jimmy Jacobs clearly is not paying attention to what's going on. Why do we so often come on here every single week and give them ideas for different situations and different characters? I gave you some good ones. It's not that difficult to come up with ideas. You can go all over social media. Fans are coming up with ideas for the current roster that would blow away anything that is happening on the main roster right now. I talk with people every single week during Raw and SmackDown via text who give me better ideas than what we're seeing on television and better direction for characters on Raw and SmackDown. But apparently to Jimmy Jacobs, the creative process wouldn't even be good without Vince McMahon. Is he trying to lobby for another job someday back in WWE? Or is he really this fucking stupid? Does he realize that Vince McMahon is the fucking determining factor as to why this show fucking sucks? Vince McMahon is overwriting everything that's happening on Monday Night Raw, whether anybody has a good idea or not. So for him to say the creative process just doesn't exist without Vince McMahon, man, I would love to see it without Vince McMahon there, because if piss jokes and toilet humor and pissing on Bobby Roode's robe and fart jokes and throwing fucking pumpkins and having street fights with fucking Christmas trees is your idea of good creative, fucking Christ, you gotta be out of your mind just fucking stupid to believe anything that comes out of this guy's mouth. What a joke. A complete fucking joke. Yeah, the same matches every week on Monday Night Raw. We've seen the Ascension versus Bobby Roode and Chad Gable 7 weeks in a row. Is that, we don't have anything creatively for these guys, or you just on so much medication and drugs that you didn't realize what happened the last 6 weeks? Or is it because you got a fucking tag team division that your boss ultimately ruined? You guys have failed in every aspect to make anyone feel important on that show. Vince McMahon has failed to make anyone feel important on that show. Both Raw and SmackDown. People are coming up with better ideas in WWE 2K19. It's not that difficult to come up with ideas without Vince McMahon. Triple H has shut you up just by 3 letters. NXT. What, you gonna tell me Vince McMahon has a hand in booking Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa now? One day, hopefully soon, this company's gonna have to exist without Vince McMahon. What's gonna happen then? Are we somehow gonna get the same fucking television? Or is it gonna get better? One can only hope. Former writer provides a 6-point plan to fix Raw. A former WWE creative writer gives you an outline on how to fix Monday Night Raw. Brian Maxwell Mann, a former writer for WWE, commented on a post showing Matt Riddle not doing much of anything on Sunday night during TLC. Man then provides a tweet that I agree 100% with. There's no way that WWE could put Matt Riddle on Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live and not have him be the biggest part of the entire show. That's how talented he is. I would have to agree with that. Sooner rather than later, Matt Riddle is going to be ready for Raw or SmackDown. But at that point, do we even want anybody from NXT to come up and join Raw or SmackDown? Man then also provided a 6-point example in said tweet of how WWE could turn things around. He referenced Riddle by saying, this is exactly what he said, next time people give you an excuse for Raw's ratings, remember there's nothing stopping WWE from putting Matt Riddle on TV. He goes on to say and share some of his ideas. This is some of the ways that he would change the way they produce the programming on Monday Night Raw for a 3-hour show. Number 1, treat Raw as 3 one-hour shows rather than 1 3-hour program. Figure out ways to make each unique so the show doesn't stall. Can't say I disagree with that. Then he goes on to number 2, which follows number 1. Assign specific writers to specific characters and programs. The most experienced ones are given to the main event. The next tier is the IC, so on and so forth. Are we doing that? There you go, Jimmy Jacobs, the zombie princess. Apparently you must have been fucking dead when you gave the answers you gave to Brian Alvarez. Can't say that I disagree with that either. Put someone in charge of the women. Put someone in charge of the tag team division. Put someone in charge of the mid-card. Put someone in charge of the main event. And everybody having to do with each category. No, we'll just let Vince McMahon run everything. He'll run the women's, the tag team. He'll run the IC title, mid-card, and he'll run the Universal title. Yeah, that's really going to make for a great Monday Night Raw. Salamonster mentioned this. It's funny that he mentions this here. Number 3, have a showrunner. Have a showrunner who provides finishing touches, keeps a bird's eye view, but does not write. The same thing goes for Saturday Night Live. Saturday Night Live has many showrunners. They oversee everything, putting finishing touches, keeps a bird's eye view on what's going on. And if need be, he'll make certain changes where applicable, you know? So there you go. Number 4, rotate characters in and out. I mentioned this on SmackDown Live months ago. Rotate characters in and out, keep programming fresh, build anticipation. Example, Monday Night Football doesn't have the same 2 teams every single week. Announce big segments, matches, weeks out in advance. Build anticipation. Saturday Night Live reveals guest hosts way in advance. And number 6, finally, and most importantly, trust your writing team. To a person, everyone who I've ever met who worked on creative, loved wrestling, you have to do that job. I don't understand why this is so easy for people to come up with and lay out a blueprint of how to fix this show, and nothing is being done. Nothing is being done. Now, we're all wishing for a fucking pipe dream here. They're not going to change the theme. They're not going to change the look. They're not going to change the feel. They're not going to change the commentary team. We're going to see the same matches over and over and over again. Right? Fresh matchups. We're getting Bobby Lashley versus Elias in a Miracle on 34th Street fight next week, where somebody gets eggnog dumped on them. Fresh matchups, right? It's a new era, right? Unfucking believable. Unbelievable. Ladies and gentlemen, what I'm trying to tell you is that exactly what I said on Monday Night Raw. Empty promises, lies, and bullshit. That is all that has existed on Monday Night Raw and will forever exist unless Vince McMahon is gone. Vince McMahon is still very much in charge of Monday Night Raw, and they're making a joke out of putting the entire McMahon family back on Monday Night Raw Triple H pointing to the audience, telling them this is your show now. This is our show now. You're the authority here on Monday Night Raw. Really? If I'm the fucking authority, why am I getting Bobby Lashley versus Elias on Monday Night Raw? I don't understand it. This show will never fucking change unless WWE cares about every single individual performer on that show and maximizes them and utilizes them to their utmost ability and strength. You can't have guys sitting in the back for months on end, expect them to go out on television and produce anything of worthy investment. Because they've been away for so long, people just don't care. Or a better example, you can't give me a Dean Ambrose heel turn on one of the most emotional nights in Monday Night Raw history and proceed to turn him into a comedic fucking joke as a heel, and then for people to expect, WWE wants people to expect some sort of fucking outcome here for the Intercontinental Championship at TLC. First of all, you ruined Dean Ambrose weeks on end with that gimmick, and then you didn't even make the Intercontinental title important anymore. It wasn't even about the title. And then when he got the title, who the fuck cared? This show is a complete fucking disaster, and it's a disaster because of Vince McMahon. Enough is enough with the, we're going to change, we're going to do it for you, you're going to see this, you're going to see that, blah, 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 blah. Just fucking do it. You know what the problem is? Then fix the fucking problem. But apparently, people in WWE wonder how anybody even watches this show themselves. And I'm the one who's negative, and I'm the one who is nothing but a fucking prick right here on the platform, right? You people are out of your fucking mind if you believe anything out of these people's mouths. They got till the second week of January to make sufficient changes. If not, I myself am never going to release my fucking grip on the hatred I have for this fucking show right now. So get used to it. I complained a lot in 2019. Expect more of the same. Monday Night Raw is going to give you the same fucking garbage. I'm going to give you the same fucking truth and hatred going on into 2019. This is Off the Script, episode 243. We're going to hit the rest of the news. On top of what the current Backstage morale is in WWE. What happened on Monday Night Raw with all the call-ups. What their mindset is. And what's going to change on Monday Night Raw per storyline with the new era. This is Off the Script, episode 253. Don't go anywhere. I will be right back right after the introduction. Travis now completely standing on top of that steel cage. Oh my God! As the House of Glory faithful comes unglued.
Oh my God.
What did he finish?
Oh my God. I can't believe what I just saw. I don't know who got the worst part of that.
Is any of this worth it? Honestly, is any of this worth it? These two men are trying to kill one another.
Off this shitty fucking product by coming on here and speaking the fucking goddamn truth about this fucking filth. That I can book a better show taking a fucking dump after eating my fucking Chipotle chorizo with extra cheese. I don't give a fuck what anybody has to say. Have I ever? Of course not. WWE is great, man. Fuck you, Japan, and Kenny Omega, Okada. Delete! What is it, Vince? Can I suck your dick? What is it, Vince? And this is the #1 fucking podcast right here on YouTube.com. This is Off the Script. Man, that steel cage spot was absolutely fucking ridiculous. You guys can watch that entire match in its entirety right now on the House of Glory YouTube channel. I will link you guys in the annotation that you see in the top right corner of the screen, man. That drop down in the top right corner. Matt Travis versus Ken Broadway, man. One of the most brutal matches you will see in all of House of Glory. That was one of the most sickest spots I think I've ever seen in my 2 years with House of Glory. And Matt Travis actually mentioned, he pretty much foreshadowed this on Cutting Corners when I sat down with him. The very first episode was conducted with Matt Travis. He said that he will die for this. It doesn't matter to him if he gets killed doing this. And clearly he lived up to those cryptic words, man. Hurricane Rana off the top of the cage onto thumbtacks in a brutal steel cage match with Ken Broadway. Go check it out. Leave some support on that video, man. Solid Monster joined me on commentary. You heard him in that clip there. My regular commentary partner, Matthew Ryan Shapiro. Always great working with him. He's just a very, very intelligent wrestling fan. Very good with words. And then obviously Ben Venuto, my other commentary partner, man. We were all in shock at what happened there in the main event of Hog 8. House of Glory's 8-year anniversary show. I'm happy to announce WWE is not going to get him anytime soon, but House of Glory will. Pentagon Jr. is coming to House of Glory February 9th. That is my birthday week, and I don't believe the very first event I'm going to be calling is going to be a Pentagon Jr. match, man. I've been a huge fan of his for the last couple of years. It's going to be awesome to call a match with him, and we don't know who he's going up against right now, but I have a sneaking suspicion it's going to be a classic. So that's February 9th, man. Come on out to that if you can. They also announced Tajiri, along with the Great Muda, for Culture Clash. They are holding a huge event WrestleMania week. Everybody is, but we are trying to get people in the doors, man. Tajiri and the Great Muda right now announced. Big time main event coming. I can't release any information on it yet, but it's going to be a massive main event, a pay-per-view worthy. And I'm talking about WWE pay-per-view worthy main event for House of Glory's portion of Culture Clash, man. Should be fucking awesome. That's happening WrestleMania weekend. I'm happy to announce that Off the Script is on Spotify. Yes, I know, it's been a long time coming for all the goons who ask me, JD, why aren't you on Spotify? We are on Spotify, man. We are on Spotify. It happened this week, so if you guys can't get to watch the YouTube version of the podcast, which I still encourage all of you to do anyway, we are now on Spotify. All you have to do is look up JD from NY or JD from NY Off the Script or Off the Script. It should pop up. So please make sure you guys go and support on Spotify. Now you can take me on the road, in the car, on the bus to school, at work when you're bored and you can't deal with your fucking nagging boss, your piece of shit boss, or a nagging customer, or if you're on break at work and you want to find something to do. There you go, man. Off the Script is now on Spotify. So that makes Podbean, iTunes, Audio Boom, and now Spotify and YouTube as well, man. YouTube's always going to be the home, first and foremost, of Off the Script, but those 5 platforms right now, man. We're on Stitcher as well. So I don't really push those other ones, but iTunes and Spotify and then YouTube clearly are the big 3 right there. So we are on Spotify. Thank you for all the support, guys. So now you can listen to me on the go and take me wherever you want. I love Spotify because I have my own little playlist on there that is ever growing. I always add certain songs to my playlist. And I got Spotify Premium, man, so I can download anything I want. I can listen to anything I want ad-free. It is great, man. It's worth the $9.99 a month for Spotify Premium. So I just wanted to make that announcement here today. We sold 90 t-shirts in total, man, with the JD Club t-shirts. It is completely gone. For the 90 of you who went out there and supported and wanted to be a part of this exclusive club, thank you guys so very much, man. It was a kick-ass campaign. We broke the original 50 margin that we wanted. We did 90, and you guys are absolutely great, man. Some of you have already gotten your shirts. Thank you guys so much for tweeting them out. And for those who ordered the second batch and the second campaign, you guys are going to get them after the holidays, man. So look forward to that. Tweet me the shirts. I'll be happy to retweet you and like the tweet. So make sure you guys go and do that. Thank you to everybody that ordered the JD Club design right here with the campaign that we started up on Off the Script. If you guys missed any of my previous videos this week, man, we did Monday Night Raw, NXT, and SmackDown Live. All those videos, all those podcasts are in the annotation that you see with the House of Glory Cash Flow, Ken Broadway match, and Matt Travis match. The steel cage match between those two guys. I kind of took it easy this week, to be honest with you. I took it easy this week, man. It was one of those weeks where I just didn't want to do anything. I had no motivation. I was just very fatigued and very tired, very down. But I took it easy. I didn't really upload any live streams or premieres like I was doing. I finished Spider-Man. I got some Call of Duty stuff on my hard drive. So we'll eventually get to that next week. But even then, next week is the holidays, and I don't know what's going on with the schedule. I'm going to be here for Raw, but SmackDown review might be delayed a day because it's on Christmas Day. And I don't really want to do anything because I'll be with my family. So, you guys might have to wait on that. But, going on into the new year, everything should be scheduled the way it needs to be for what I do here on the channel. So, thank you guys so very much. If you missed any of that stuff, Raw, SmackDown, and NXT is live on the channel right now. Programming note, the Jordynne Grace, Impact Wrestling superstar Jordynne Grace interview on Cutting Corners will be available this weekend. I'm waiting on word of when it's going to be uploaded on House of Glory's YouTube channel. I urge you guys to go and check that out. In fact, I will absolutely remind you that is going up relatively soon, as of this weekend, possibly tomorrow. I'll let you guys know. But please make sure you guys keep an eye and an ear out for the Jordynne Grace interview. Follow me on social media, man. Best way to keep up to date on everything, including that Jordynne Grace interview, at JD from NY206. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for all notifications. In fact, give it the middle finger because it never fucking works. If you guys want to follow me on Patreon as well, patreon.com/JD from NY206. Harry's, man. Shout out to Harry's. They are the official sponsor of Off the Script. Harrys.com/script is our unique URL. You guys can get a free trial shave set for FREE. Exactly what I said, man. For free. You guys get to choose one of 3 colors for your handle. You're going to get a razor blade, a protective case, and a generous 2-ounce bottle of their foaming shave gel, which soothes, hydrates, and it smells fantastic. Make sure you guys go and sign up, man. Harrys.com/script free trial. All you guys have to do is pay the shipping and handling. You guys know how great I have spoken of Harry's. It's the best shave I've ever had. I've been using it for a year now. Fantastic stuff. And you guys can also get $5 off the holiday gift set. They got 2 versions of it, $25 and $35. You guys can save $5 off by using our unique link, harrys.com/script. Audible is also the other big sponsor of the podcast, man. Audible's been with us for about 2 years now. Official sponsor of Off the Script here on YouTube. Audibletrial.com/Off the Script. Podcasts and audio books, anything audio-wise, man, is really, really, really taken off. And if you guys want something else outside of the standard podcast that you listen to, they are willing to give you a free audio book on the house, on them, just for listening to this very podcast, this very show, Off the Script. They're going to give you 1 free audiobook of your choice, and they're going to give you 30 days free to browse their service. Absolutely no questions asked. So go to audibletrial.com/Off the Script. Use our link, go through the sign-up process, and here's the best part, man. If you guys want to support the show and get the audiobook for free, great. But if you feel that even after a day, Audible is not for you, you can cancel the service at any time within that 30 days, and you get to keep your audiobook for free. Compatible with iPhone and Android devices. Make sure you give the gift of Audible, or give yourself a gift this holiday season using our link, man. audibletrial.com/Off the Script. Thank you guys so very much for all that, man. Let's get on into the news and rumors right here on Off the Script. Going to start off with the current Backstage morale in WWE. I figured this was a good starting point for the podcast after what we talked about in the opening. The current reported Backstage morale in WWE. Fightful.com is reporting, believe it or not, that the overall morale in WWE is actually pretty good at the moment, as it is said, and Sean Ross Sapp says, and I quote, "From what I've heard, WWE morale is actually pretty high by and large, and has been for quite some time." I don't believe that at all. Sean Ross Sapp is very credible in what he does, but I honestly think he was either given wrong information or just bullshit. Or the only reason why morale is high is because everybody's going to start negotiating much bigger contracts, and they got a lot of big bonuses coming up because of all that dirty money that WWE has gotten from the Saudi government and because of Fox Sports and their $1 billion deal. That's the only reason morale is up high. I mean, fuck, it's money, right? You're doing what you love, most of what you love, and you're being paid handsomely for it. Why wouldn't morale be up? Morale is certainly not up for the current WWE product, I'll tell you that right now. Not when you got people backstage who work for the company wonder why anybody watches the fucking show. So this is either a bullshit fucking excuse that they gave Fightful, or people have great morale in the WWE right now because of what they're being paid. So, of course, not everyone's going to be happy with every situation. However, it seems that across the board, there seems to be plenty of people who are very happy to be working for the WWE right now, which is a very good thing for the company. Now, that could very well be true, but how do you handle your roster and make them happy? You announce what's coming up so that they can properly plan ahead, correct? Well, WWE held a live television broadcast on Christmas Day last year and then again on New Year's. But they're not doing that this year. Instead, they double-taped Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live in Sacramento and Fresno, respectively, this week for next week, so that the superstars could spend time with their families, which is understandable. And if anybody has a problem with the WWE superstars and the women and men in WWE spending time with their families instead of putting on live television, you need to shut the fuck up. Because everybody was against it last year, and WWE did the right thing, believe it or not, this year by double taping. Now, it might not come off as well as we want, but Monday Night Raw doesn't ever give us what we want, so what's the fucking difference? Let these people who work so hard week in and week out, talking about the performers, spend time with their families, their children, their wives, their girlfriends, their boyfriends, etc., etc. Now, if you'd like to know what will happen on Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live, you guys can certainly find them on the internet via whatever dirt sheet reports Pro Wrestling News. I will not do that here. But it seems like not everyone was informed about this double duty before the rest of the internet knew. The Wrestling Observer reports that almost nobody knew they were taping 2 episodes until it was announced. Welcome to the new era, folks. Welcome to the new era of WWE. The more things change, the more they stay the same. I am not surprised whatsoever. You got till the second week of January to facilitate change. If not, I'm not changing. You ain't getting no positivity on Monday nights from me, I'll tell you that. WWE reportedly has a big storyline planned to turn things around in 2019. What could that be? What's got everybody all excited about 2019? Reportedly, Kenny Omega is not coming to the WWE. From last I heard, Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks reportedly turned down 7-figure deals to join WWE. So what's the big storyline plan if the Elite is not coming to the WWE? Now, we all know that WWE television right now, both on Monday and Tuesday nights, is absolutely tragic. Tragic in every sense of the word. They're losing fans, the ratings are slipping, and they can't really afford to lose any more fans, and they can't afford to have the ratings dip anymore going into 2019, especially with a big new home debut on Fox Sports looming. Now, Roman Reigns leaving the company due to the leukemia announcement he made wasn't the only blow that WWE had to deal with, but they also had to carry on through the Saudi Arabian obligations in the face of direct criticism. Now, going back to Roman Reigns, even with Roman Reigns there, I want to make sure this is very well known. Even with Roman Reigns there, the shows were terrible. Roman Reigns not being there has not made Monday Night Raw worse, folks. Monday Night Raw was just as bad when Roman was in the spot that he was in and as Universal Champion. They gave you the Shield versus the Dogs of War every single week. That's not going to get fans to come on back to Monday Night Raw. So Brian Alvarez revealed on the Wrestling Observer Live that he has been told that WWE has a master plan after Raw. Apparently, they have something big lined up to kick off 2019 by getting their fans back and turning things around. This could be interesting, but at this stage of the game, it's probably best to not get our hopes up so much. And if I've taught you anything, I want you guys to remain steadfast, calm, and collect yourselves. There is no change coming. And if there is change, and I mean significant change, I will be the first person to tell you I was wrong. But even then, if there is change, are they going to continue change? Because if you give me one good show, you can't go back to giving me a fucking 1 out of 10 show on Monday night the next week. You got to continue the product in a good fashion. It's got to be consistent. And WWE doesn't even know the term or the definition of consistency. Now, he says, and I quote, does Alvarez, "For those of you who hate Raw," everybody raise your hand. The classroom, raise your hand. Who hates Raw? To everybody that hates Raw, all I'm going to tell you is that the belief within WWE is that, and he says it, take it for what it's worth, take it with a grain of salt, they believe it is going to all turn around in January. Apparently they have some sort of idea, and they think it's all turning around in January and that the ratings in January are going to be good again. The show is going to be better, and something big is going to happen. Well, if you're not delivering me the cleaner, if you're not delivering me Kenny Omega on the first Raw in February to get ready for a WrestleMania match against AJ Styles, then what is the big deal? What is the big deal happening in January? We got something called the Royal Rumble, but even then the WWE hasn't given us in its proper manner. WWE hasn't booked a good Royal... Last year's Royal Rumble, I would say, was okay. It was probably one of the best Royal Rumbles in recent memory. But, you know, WWE does something one year and then they go back to being fucking garbage the next year. You know, the Royal Rumble, no matter if it's good or bad, we're all going to watch because we grew up with the Royal Rumble. The Royal Rumble's been around for 30 fucking years. So there's no reason why nobody is going to be, you know, upset with the Royal Rumble. It's my favorite match of the fucking year. The unpredictability, the countdown, the crowd, you know, what happens in the match, how many eliminations someone's going to get, who's going to come out at number 1, who's going to come out at number 30. Are we going to see a surprise entrant, right? I love the Royal Rumble. But that is common knowledge. Of course the ratings are going to increase during Royal Rumble build and on into WrestleMania. This is common knowledge. That's nothing that we don't know already. But does WWE have an ace up their sleeve? I don't know. Are they hoping that Kenny Omega comes to the WWE? Do they know something that we don't? Has Kenny Omega given his word about coming to the WWE already after his New Japan contract is up? I don't know. That's the only thing I could see being a big deal. Or, I mentioned this on Monday Night Raw Review, Vince, Triple H, Stephanie, and Shane, there could be, and I don't want this to happen because it's just putting focus back on the McMahons, and one of the things to make Monday Night Raw great again is to take the focus off of the McMahons and put it on the fucking talent. They guaranteed us fresh faces, right? They guaranteed us that we're the creative of the show. Now they're going to give us what we want, right? So if they do that, then they're making everything that they said nothing but bold-faced lies. I could definitely see an internal power struggle happening here eventually, because it always results in that. I could see Vince getting angry. Maybe Triple H is upset. Maybe they take it a step further with this fucking... They want to add a dose of realism into it. It wouldn't get any more real without Triple H. Triple H can come in and say, listen, you know, you cited what was wrong with the show, and the show has not changed. The ratings are still in the fucking tank. There's people losing interest week in and week out. You're still giving us the same garbage that we see every week. And maybe there's a power struggle between Triple H and Vince McMahon over who controls Monday Night Raw. Maybe we see some sort of NXT invasion. Maybe Triple H, to really spice things up, maybe we get NXT to invade Monday Night Raw and we really start shaking shit up. I could see it happening. That's the only other thing I could see being this big plan in 2019. But then again, you know, that sounds great and all, And it could put focus on the young talent, but if it's just an internal power struggle without NXT coming to the main roster, it's just going to be all about the McMahons. And we don't want that. That's the same old rinse and repeat. You promised us new. That's not new. Every time WWE gets into some hardship, they go back to the McMahons. No, we don't want you to do that. We want you to fucking write a good show. Do you realize who you have on that roster that you're not utilizing? Do you know the fucking... I don't understand how anybody in charge of that show is not having fun doing what they're doing. Taking things week by week, giving me fresh matches, introducing new faces to the WWE fans. Having fun with the championships. Using everything that you have at your disposal to make sure these guys get over. And they have not done that for political reason, for one man's greed and ignorancy. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Does WWE have a big storyline planned in 2019? Take it for what it's worth. Take it with a grain of salt. I don't believe it until I see it. Alvarez went on to say, of course anybody is going to speculate all sorts of crazy things. Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, this, that. Don't get your hopes up. Don't get your hopes up. I don't know what they're thinking, but they seem to believe that in January things are turning around. End quote. Now, I mentioned that Cody Rhodes and the Elite, the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega can't talk any contract until January 31st because that would be tampering. But WWE hasn't stopped tampering with anybody. They're still talking to contracted employees with Ring of Honor and New Japan because they are desperate to get anybody they can just in case All Elite Wrestling becomes a reality. But Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks have stated that they're sticking together. And apparently, I read as of this morning, Thursday morning, you guys are going to be seeing this and hearing this on Friday, that both the Young Bucks and Cody Rhodes have turned down 7-figure deals to rejoin WWE. But then on the other hand, I'm hearing that nobody in WWE is going to be offering Cody Rhodes 7 figures. Really now? Really now? He transformed himself from Stardust into one of the biggest names in the entire world. For WWE to lure him away from being a part of a brand new promotion that he's starting up, you're not going to offer him 7 figures, right? I do believe that WWE will and has already offered Cody Rhodes 7 figures. Imagine what they're going to give Kenny Omega. I knew that all of them were going to get 7 figures. Just for the simple fact, WWE might not think that they're worth it, but it's going to take every bit of financial backing to get these guys to join WWE and not start up All Elite Wrestling. Only time will tell what WWE has planned or could be cooking up, even if they even have a real plan, right? I don't know what it could be. Either way, I will let you guys know if I hear anything else right here on the podcast. Those are the only things I could think of. Those are the only legit things I could think of. Speaking of NXT, the NXT Superstar call-ups that they announced on Monday Night Raw shows WWE has not learned a goddamn thing. They haven't learned a goddamn thing. You could make mention of anybody that has been called up from NXT in the last 4 years. And how many of them went on to have success? How many? I could probably only think of Kevin Owens. I'm going to include Sami Zayn in that because he had a WrestleMania match with Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon. Maybe Drew McIntyre's on his way. You want to put Braun Strowman? Braun Strowman didn't even work a match in NXT. You know, Elias, if you want to put him in that category. How many other guys have come up from NXT and have major success on the main roster? Not many. Not many. So you could feel the hold back as far as the change goes. And I'm telling you right now, don't let anybody ever criticize you for what you think. And I'm going to shout him out here. He comes to all the House of Glory shows. He's actually working with House of Glory now. Good for him. Nick Nightmare of the Sledgehammer Wrestling Podcast. He comes to all the House of Glory shows. He's bought me many cold beverages just because he wants to and wants to show his support. He was criticized on his latest, I believe, SmackDown Live review for not warming up to the change. That people were citing that he's complaining like me. Meanwhile, change is really happening. Don't let anyone ever criticize you for what you fucking believe in. Those people are fucking irrelevant as far as I go. Or as far as I'm concerned. Don't let them ever tell you what you think you should be doing. There is no fucking change. Until there is change, those people are fucking brain-dead, simpleton fucking idiots. They are the fucking reason, they are the root of all the issues right now with Monday Night Raw. There is no change. There will not be change. There will never be change. Who's to say Vince McMahon calls up these superstars and Heavy Machinery is split up in 6 months? You guys remember American Alpha? What happened to them? Broken up. Where's Sanity? Where's the Ascension? Right? What happened to Tyler Breeze? Baron Corbin. What happened to Nakamura? Look at Nakamura. Yeah, Andrade Cien Almas is on television as of this past Tuesday. And he's going to be fighting Mustafa Ali next week. Already taped. But where was he all year? Where was he all year? You think WWE appreciates or respects or values the talent that Andrade Cien Almas is? How the fuck are you going to waste this guy away after watching what he did in January with Johnny Gargano? So what's to come for a Johnny Gargano, or a Tommaso Ciampa, or an Aleister Black, an Adam Cole, a Kyle O'Reilly, a Bobby Fish, right? What's going to happen with those guys? Velveteen Dream, a Matt Riddle, Keith Lee. The list goes on and on. They don't appreciate or value anybody. They don't. Vince McMahon could call these 6 individuals up and then call for more call-ups. Pushing everybody else down that he just called up down a peg or 4. Don't ever let anybody tell you that you are wrong for your opinion. I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks about me. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit what the fucking Roman Reigns trolls, the fucking troll accounts with Roman Forever as his fucking handle on Twitter. I don't give a shit about anybody who's got fucking this big mouth on social media, right? And he's got fucking 90 followers. And he's following 8,000. Fuck out of here, man. I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks about me. I don't give a shit what people think of my opinion. I don't give a shit what anybody thinks of my show. There's a reason why people are watching this show every single week. There's a reason why views are up. There's a reason why we're almost at 50 million views for this channel alone. There's a reason why we just hit 100,000 subscribers and a month ago, and we're almost at 104 already before the new year. I don't care. I don't give a shit. Don't let anyone tell you what the agenda is pushing is right. It's all bullshit. There is no change. And these NXT superstars are not going to elicit change. Meltzer made a point on the Wrestling Observer Radio that acts the WWE's bringing up from NXT aren't top draws for NXT. In fact, if you look at who they're bringing in, it only fits WWE's pattern even more. He says, and I quote, if you want to shake things up with people because they're good looking, we're going to bring them up because they can be stars. That's the same problem we've had all along. WWE is narrow casting. They're doing TV for the masses, so they have to be a certain way. Even though everyone they've handpicked for the most part haven't worked, and guys we thought could never get over in the masses, whether it be CM Punk or Daniel Bryan or whatever, did get over. It's like, can you learn that lesson? End quote. Now, you don't have to be a big deal in NXT to find success on the main roster. That's what I'm hoping for with EC3. That's what I'm hoping for with Lars Sullivan. And that's what I'm hoping for with Heavy Machinery. Those are the 3 that I'm worried about most. EC3, is he going to translate to the audience? I certainly hope so. Because he's got charisma, he's got presence, he don't have a lick of wrestling ability. So I want to see what he could get over. He may very well get over. I mean, Elias isn't the greatest wrestler in the world either, but he's got charisma, he's got a must-see act, and he's fucking fantastic at what he does. But he doesn't have in-ring ability. He's got some. He's got more than EC3, but it's going to be the same thing. Is EC3 going to be the next Elias? I hope so. I certainly hope so. Heavy Machinery, I am worried about the most. I guarantee you, WWE is going to take one look at Otis and split him up from Tucker Knight. Because they don't like either Otis or Tucker Knight, or they don't like both of them. And where are they going to fit in? Are they going to fit in on SmackDown Live? What happened to Sanity? He brought up 3 guys, one of them being Killian Dane, who has every fucking ounce of potential to be the next big man in this company, yet they don't see it. What happened to Sanity? You're going to bring Heavy Machinery up? For what? When the likes of Sanity have failed since day one. What about Lars Sullivan? Lars Sullivan's going to have a fucking rocket pack strapped to him quicker than anybody, man. This is going to be a young Brock Lesnar all over again. They will give that man every single opportunity to get over. He's going to be the next Braun Strowman. I knew this from day one. That's exactly how they got to book him. I'm not worried about Nikki Cross. Nikki Cross is going to get over because she's just entertaining. Lacey Evans will probably get over because she's something different. I don't know if she's going to find any success, but we'll see. But I'm most worried about Heavy Machinery. Now, there are 4 more instances of NXT call-ups not receiving a good reception, though I hope that doesn't happen here. We have to wait and see if WWE surprises us with more call-ups that we don't see coming. Maybe we see Dream in the Royal Rumble. Maybe we see Aleister Black in the Royal Rumble. I don't understand what's going to happen now, but it's safe to say we got NXT call-ups coming, but it's not going to save Monday Night Raw or SmackDown Live. Because half of them are going to go to Raw and half of them are going to go to SmackDown. And how is that going to elicit change on Monday nights? It's not. It's not. It's a Band-Aid over a shotgun wound. WWE needs to get down to business and give us characters that people are invested in. They have to mold characters to a point where we care about them. They have to deliver storylines that make us want to go out of our way. I want that feeling again of being out during Monday Night Raw, which I haven't even made an attempt to be out during Monday Night Raw because I'd rather be home making money than fucking be anywhere else with my Monday Night Raw podcast. But if perchance I'm out and Monday Night Raw is happening, I want to get that feeling of, fuck, I can't miss Monday Night Raw tonight. That's what they got to get me back to. That's what they got to get us back to. If you're out and you're doing something else and you're not home watching Monday Night Raw, you have absolutely no fucking care in the world that you're missing Monday Night Raw. You're going to go do what you got to do. You're going to take your girl out to dinner. You're going to go bowling. You're going to go to a movie. You're going to play Red Dead Redemption. You're going to play Call of Duty. You're going to be doing everything else except watch Monday Night Raw. They need to get everybody back to a point where you legitimately feel guilty for missing the fucking show and that you'll do anything you have to do to be home and watch the show. Have they given you that feeling? I can't even remember the last time I felt that. It all starts with who you're presenting on television and how you're presenting them. And it's wishing upon a fucking star, but Monday Night Raw dwindling down to 2 hours is essential for this show's success. You want change? That's the one change I think everybody wants to see for Christmas. Santa, where are you, bro? What do I want for Christmas? Sit on my lap. What do you want for Christmas, young JD? Hey, asshole, I want Raw back to 2 hours, you fucking white-bearded slob. Will I get it? Is it going to be sitting under my tree? You fucking clown. Why don't you just stay home this holiday season? You ain't doing your fucking job. Have Mrs. Claus bake you some cookies. Have her put out some fresh milk. Have her give you a blowjob. Merry Christmas. All I want is Raw back to 2 hours. I'm the fucking Grinch. Better believe that. Heavy Machinery's going to be looking at Vince McMahon as the fucking Grinch because this show with Heavy, or where are they going? SmackDown? They're better off on Smack. I don't want them anywhere near Monday Night Raw. For God forsakes, they would be fed to the fucking B team on night one. Heavy Machinery on the main roster. Wrestling Observer newsletter talked about how they are going to use Heavy Machinery. Now, the Wrestling Observer newsletter noted that, or Meltzer was noted, saying that a source told him in WWE that Vince McMahon will either hate or love Otis Dojovic, who is the most unique of the two. Otis is also the most charismatic and carries the tag team in regards to their other characters, or to their characters. It was noted that McMahon doesn't like shorter, blocky guys like Otis, but there could always be an exception because Otis is extremely strong and hilarious. They weren't as popular as other teams in NXT. They're up there. I mean, they're not as popular as Undisputed Era. They're not as popular as the Street Profits. But I would rank them at number 3. I would rank them at a solid 3 there. But they're getting a shot. They're getting a shot on the main roster. Let's hope for the best because WWE needs more top stars. Guarantee you, I give this team less time than American Alpha. They'll be broken up. Otis will be fired. Tucker Knight will probably sit in catering. He'll become an enhancement talent. I foresee it right now. Where's my crystal ball? I don't have my magic 8 ball out. That's what's going to happen. Meanwhile, you got a solid tag team. You got a big man tag team that is very reminiscent of old school. Otis reminds that to me, if I was to go back and compare them to a team, they are the modern day natural disasters. You know, Otis is Earthquake, and Tucker Knight is Typhoon. That's what I look at when I look at Heavy Machinery. This team has all the makings of a team that could get over. Otis is so lovable and funny and entertaining, and with his expression, Tucky, you know, steaks and wish, Tucky, right? I love it. It's great. But if you're automatically writing reports that they're doomed to fail, now it's in the air. WWE sees this. It's in the air now. They're doomed to fail. You put that negativity in the air, they're doomed to fail. They'll have one good showing on SmackDown Live. They'll maybe have a good showing the next week or the next time they're on TV, and then goodbye. They'll be like Sanity. They're fed to the New Day. They're fed to the Usos, and goodbye. They're all over with. We'll see Otis do the worm, and Tucker Knight will get a hot tag, and he'll show us how impressive he is for big men, and then goodbye. Goodbye. It's all over. Or maybe they'll be feuding with Sanity on the fucking pre-show for Fastlane. This is a team that could be very, very good. You want to start building tag team wrestling? Start now. Otherwise, why are we investing our time into tag team wrestling in NXT only for them to be fucking failures on the main roster? What are you going to do when Undisputed Era gets called up? You're going to have teams ready for the Undisputed Era? I certainly hope so. Because they're writing what tag team wrestling needs to be. But then again, look at the Revival. They did the same thing in NXT when they were there with DIY and American Alpha and Enzo and Cass. And what happened to everything else? Failed. Revival failed. Heavy Machinery on the main roster, I give them no chance. Like Vince McMahon's theme song, no chance in hell of getting to where we all want them or expect them to be. JD, why didn't WWE call up Aleister Black or the Velveteen Dream or Undisputed Era? Why? Why would you want them to call them up? Aleister Black's main roster called up was delayed. Good. Hopefully it's delayed another year. The more we wait for Vince McMahon to step away or give power to other people to right the ship here, the better. I don't want Aleister Black anywhere near the main roster with these fucking people in charge. Aleister Black is a former NXT champion, clearly ready for the main roster, but he's not one of the 6 names that is being called up in the coming weeks. He did suffer an injury. Black did suffer an injury, but he was able to come back in a big way. He is now undoubtedly NXT's hottest babyface. He's often compared to The Undertaker, which he was not shy about talking about. He doesn't understand it. He doesn't like being compared to The Undertaker because of the immense legacy that he's got to live up to. But he does have qualities of someone who could be that sort of character. Now, the Wrestling Observer newsletter noted that although Black's name was mentioned before in regards to a main roster call-up, it wasn't brought up this time around. It was not known if his call-up will be delayed, but Meltzer said, and I quote, "Usually I hear those names, even if they aren't now, they're usually in the following group like Almas. They may very well save him for WrestleMania weekend. on the Raw after Mania or the SmackDown after Mania. They may keep it quiet and debut him in the Royal Rumble for all we fucking know. I mentioned that if you want to really shake fucking things up, why don't you have Aleister Black come out at a great number, like number 20, 21, clean house, black mass, everybody in sight, go on to win the Royal Rumble and challenge Daniel Bryan for the WWE Championship. Now that would be something I could get behind. That is something that would shut me up and really show me that, okay, they're listening. That's change. That's change I can get behind. Now, all hope is not lost for Aleister Black to be called up on the main roster. It's going to happen sooner rather than later anyway. But it might be best for him to come up when, hopefully, I'm not hoping, hopefully, things somehow change. Maybe when they have a plan for him. Because realistically, if you put him on Monday Night Raw now, where is he going to fit into plans? He's just going to be placed into something for the sake of putting him in something with no real direction, and that's not what we do with guys like Aleister Black. Aleister Black is a character-driven wrestler, performer, and I don't know how you could fuck that up. I mean, everything that they've done with him in NXT has been brilliant. From his mic work, to the way he portrays himself, to everything that he's got his hand in now. But no, in this company, they'll look at Aleister Black and they'll pave the road for him just like they did Bray Wyatt, leading to failure. Because you know how they operate with characters like this, with big mystiques and big entrances and, you know, who are different. I don't have any faith in WWE booking someone like Aleister Black. We think it's foolproof. It's fucking foolproof if you look at it. But no, in this company, look at who else they fucking fucked up. They fucked up Nakamura. They fucked up. How do you fuck that up coming out of that unbelievable match with Sami Zayn? And how do you fuck that up after NXT booked him perfectly as world champion? Unreal. And then who's to say, with Adam Cole and Ricochet and Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano, are they going to treat them right? For all we know, Johnny Gargano is destined for 205 Live. Johnny Gargano is greater than the entire roster of 205 Live. That is a slap in the fucking face, as is Tommaso Ciampa. Every one of those guys that remains, all of the big names that remain, need a plan before a call-up to the main roster. I'm glad Aleister Black is delayed. The longer he's delayed, the better. Why didn't WWE call up Undisputed Era? Well, in the same podcast, Meltzer mentioned the Undisputed Era and their reasoning for not doing that during Monday Night Raw. He tried to make sense of WWE's decision-making process. He says, and I quote, "I know there's probably this thing that we don't want to move the Undisputed Era because they're carrying NXT right now, but shouldn't you be bringing up your most over guys when you want to shake things up? I mean, isn't that the thing of making new stars?" End quote. It's hard to disagree with that statement, but on the other side of the coin, it's Undisputed Era, and when Vince McMahon takes a look, no matter if this is a new era or not, Vince McMahon is going to take a look at Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong and Adam Cole, look at them as vanilla midgets, and they'll be fed to the New Day, and then goodbye. They're all over. But, yes, Meltzer is right. Why don't you bring up some of your top-tier talent? And thank God Undisputed Era is where they are right now with NXT and where their situation is with NXT. They're the tag team champions. Adam Cole is already proclaiming that world championship gold is coming to him. He already proclaimed that all four of them are going to be carrying all the gold in NXT. I hope so. The longer they have gold, the longer they will be in NXT. You don't need them right now. Let them create their era in NXT. Because the era on Monday Night Raw right now is filled with bullshit and garbage. You don't want to take your top guys and put them in the middle of a steaming dumpster fire on Monday nights. So it was noted that an act like Heavy Machinery is going to hopefully be fun to watch, but they aren't likely going to set the main roster on fire. EC3, he may make it, he may not, which we discussed. Because he has a name from Impact Wrestling, he can cut a promo, he's got a great look, but you know, his wrestling ability is lacking very much so, and he was not the most over guy in NXT. It's interesting how WWE decided to call people up who weren't already involved in a program leading to NXT TakeOver Phoenix. since that card is already booked, it might be hard to call someone up who's already slated to perform on that show. It still seems like WWE could be giving people new acts just for the sake of bringing in new names. And that's exactly what it is. They think by adding new names and new faces that it's going to change the way people think about Monday Night Raw. But all it's going to be is these people are going to walk right into the same shit that everybody else is being booked into, and it's going to take their luster and appeal that we enjoyed so much in NXT, and it's going to wipe them all away. Velveteen Dream. The Velveteen Dream. We discussed this on NXT Review on Wednesday. He had a social media stunt during Raw, and he was lobbying for Vince McMahon and the higher-ups in WWE to take a look at him to be called up with the rest of the names to Monday Night Raw. Now, Velveteen Dream had a lot of guts to do what he did. He pursued pro wrestling as his passion. He made it to NXT, and he's become one of the most must-see acts, only at the ripe age of 22 years old. Now, for a guy like that, with that type of gimmick, I say this all the time, I was not a big fan of the Velveteen Dream, and he won me over almost instantaneously. The way he lives the gimmick, the way he carries himself, the way he's progressed as a wrestler, the journey we've been on to watch Velveteen Dream, he's done everything so great, and it's very difficult to watch him and not appreciate what he does. And he may get over on the main roster, with the millennial crowd and how people are today. They might find him to be very attractive or in a very attractive character or someone they want to invest their time in. I could very much see that. But it's all internal politics. It's all going to come down to internal politics with WWE on how far Velveteen Dream goes. Because he's not a creation of Monday Night Raw. He's not a creation of Vince McMahon. He's not a creation of Kevin Dunn and the WWE main roster. They may look at that and they may soil that. Oh, this is not our creation. This is something that happened down there. So they may take it, they may change it, and they may ruin it. And they may give us the middle finger, just like Vince McMahon gave us the fucking finger with his troll job on Monday night. Velveteen Dream might not be the same Velveteen Dream when he makes it to the main roster. He doesn't know what he's walking into. Think before you speak. Or be careful what you wish for. Now, recently, Dream put out a flurry of tweets encouraging his fans to pretty much spam WWE in order to get a shot at the main roster. That didn't work at all, and then Dream deleted the tweets. Wrestling Observer now has confirmed that Velveteen Dream did get into some backstage heat with NXT after the incident. Evidently, he says, Meltzer, Velveteen Dream got into some hot water after he wasn't called up, telling people on Twitter to voice their disapproval to WWE's Twitter account. He quickly took down those tweets. It looks like putting Call Me Vince on his tights didn't work, and neither did his recent social media stunt. Therefore, Velveteen Dream will just have to keep working his ass off in NXT, and good things will hopefully happen for him eventually. I mentioned on my NXT review there was only one tweet that I thought might have gotten him into hot water, and it was the tweet where he said he didn't need writers, he has charisma, you either have it or you don't. NXT, Triple H has mentioned this several times, NXT is a family-like environment. Everybody has each other's back. They all set up the ring together, they all take the ring down together, they all train together, they all live together, they train together, etc., 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 right? They all struggle together, they see the highs together, the lows together. Velveteen Dream is a part of that family. And for him to go out there and say, you either have it or you don't, I have it. And everybody that was called up already, who are still a part of his family, Otis and Tucker, Lars, Lacey Evans, and Nikki Cross, they're all still a part of the NXT family. They will be a part of the NXT family forever because they all had a role down at the PC and on NXT. And for Velveteen Dream to go out there and pretty much kind of throw everybody under the bus, saying that he came off in a way as if he's greater than all, he's better than all, he's got what it takes, as, these announcements that these 6 individuals are coming up don't have anything that he has. It could be looked at as, who the fuck do you think you are? So that's why he might have deleted that and might be in hot water with WWE now. And I don't know why he is such in a rush to go to the main roster anyway, for the reasons that I already cited. mean, do you realize how comfortable he has it in NXT? Every time they go on the road, NXT pays, or WWE pays for their travel. They pay for their hotels. They don't do that for the main roster talent. So you're 22 years old and you're wanting to go to the main roster because you have this grandeur of WrestleMania and dreams of main eventing Raw and winning the WWE title. Yeah, great. But you're 22 years old. What is the rush? I guarantee you, Velveteen Dream, Patrick Clark has not learned everything he needs to learn from Shawn Michaels, who has taken him under his wing, from Triple H, from Matt Bloom, from William Regal. Clearly, if he's acting this immature at 22 years old, clearly he hasn't learned enough. You're not going to pull that type of stunt and Vince McMahon's going to be like, yep, I know that guy, let's call him up. No. There is a time and a place. Justin LaBar always told me that there is a time and a place for everything in wrestling. It's not Dream's time. Why does he want it to be his time? Why does he want to rush the experience in NXT? Why do you want to take the Velveteen Dream experience away from everybody down at Full Sail University for the big bright lights of Monday Night Raw, knowing the current state of that show, knowing the backlash the show is getting from me and everybody else on social media? We don't want you a part of that. We want you to walk into something that we know you're going to succeed and thrive in. You walk onto Monday Night Raw right now, you are not going to be looked at the same, and you're not going to experience the success you're having in NXT. Keep it in NXT. You're 22 years old, you have a whole fucking career. As long as you can stay healthy and you don't make many mistakes along the way, you have an entire career ahead of you. Yes, I see Velveteen Dream in major matches at WrestleMania. Yes, I see. I might be the only one, but I see Velveteen Dream as a WWE champion. The guy is too good. Velveteen Dream could be the guy that breaks through all those fucking stereotypes and becomes what we all want him and expect him to be. He could be one of the vital pieces to this company to actually promote change. I don't want that to be on the main roster right now. WWE has called up everybody else before you, Dream, to the main roster. They called up Andrade Cien Almas to the main roster. Look at where it's gotten him. Do you think he's happy with his position sitting out for 4 months? Haven't seen him since SummerSlam. So what's so great about being on Raw and SmackDown? Tell me. The increase in pay? More money? A heavier wallet? Is it all worth it? Or is it the happiness you feel going out there in front of the crowd and the passion for wrestling? Is it because of that and why you're here? Like, money's not everything. I would never want someone this fucking talented to go to Monday Night Raw. Ever. It's the reason why I don't want Gargano, Ciampa, Black, Undisputed, Matt Riddle, Keith Lee. Can you imagine Keith Lee on the main roster? If Keith Lee was to promote himself like Velveteen Dream to the main roster, what would they do with Keith Lee? He'd be Apollo Crews 2.0. All the talent in the world. Guy his size doing unimaginable things. Apollo Crews 2.0. Apollo Crews is a perfect example. Called someone up too quick. What did they do with him? Do I need to explain to you anymore? So for everybody wanting, Dream and Black and this guy and that guy, hey, you can't cripple NXT, and he's not ready. And why would you want someone to suffer by going to that tragedy of a show called Monday Night Raw? Take your time. Please, just take your time, man. No need to fucking rush anything at all. I think that's all I got for today, guys. I'm going to pick it up with part 2 tomorrow. We're going to continue some storylines from Monday Night Raw and this new era announcement. Apparently, WWE has abandoned this Alexa Bliss storyline. Shane McMahon's heel turn has also been abandoned thanks to Vince McMahon's announcement. Finn Balor, rumored to be one of the new faces, getting a renewed push in the new era. WWE reportedly sets the next 2 Saudi Arabia events in 2019. And then we're going to go over why Vince McMahon was furious with the Seth Rollins-Dean Ambrose match at TLC, and why WWE may be moving away from the Brock Lesnar-Seth Rollins rumored match at WrestleMania. Mania. All that plus so much more right here on Off the Script, man. Thank you guys so very much for all your continued love and support. If you guys want to support the podcast, one of the other ways to do that is go buy a t-shirt, man. barbershopwindow.com/offthescript. Use code BSHOP10 for 10% off. 18 designs in total, plus the new 100,000 subscriber commemorative t-shirt available now exclusively on Barbershop Window, man. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for all notifications. Patreon.com/JD from NY206. Instagram, look up JD from NY206. Harrys.com/script for your free trial shave set. Harry's the official sponsor of the show, as well as Audible. audibletrial.com/offthescript. Thank you guys so very much, man. I will see you all on Saturday morning with part 2 of Off the Script. We're going to go over all that I previously mentioned. Make sure you check out the Raw, SmackDown, and NXT live podcasts right here on the channel. And go check out that Matt Travis versus Cashflow Ken Broadway match at Hog 8, now available on their YouTube channel. I'm getting out of here, man. Hit that thumbs up. Let's shatter 2,000 likes if we can right here on Friday's episode of Off the Script. And I will see you guys right back here, normal time, for part 2, episode 253. I'll talk to you guys later.